When originally assigned attachment disorder, my first instinct was to believe that it was a student who struggled with attaching themselves emotionally to a person. But in actuality, it can be seen in three different ways. Oftentimes, it is because of the severe trauma a student has experienced, they will show symptoms of withdrawing from someone. So refusal to make eye contact, not wanting to talk, stuff like that. And other times, you as a teacher will not see that at all. They will not show any symptoms or signs that they have attachment disorder at school. And the third is the most violent and most extreme, where they will have outbursts of anger and violence where they can attack people viciously, and sometimes they even plan ways to attack people or plan events in order for them to get the attention that they didn't receive when they were younger. Attachment disorder stems from when children are young and they experience a lot of trauma. You see this oftentimes in the orphanage setting and foster homes when they can't receive the individualized attention that an adolescent needs. And this one, the third one, is the most dangerous for a student to experience. And it is very important that when you are planning lessons for students in particular with attachment disorder, you list out very clear objectives and you set out very strict parameters so they understand you are the one in charge and you are the one who's responsible. Although you should allow them, if they do want to be in control, to give them that sense of control. So you give them the clear objectives and make them think that they have that control. And it's very important you keep those objectives short and simple for them. And for theater teachers specifically, because we handle emotions so much in scenes, oftentimes kids with attachment disorder struggle with kind of understanding that emotion. So it's very important that you give them that one-on-one attention or partner them up with someone who understands and can effectively explain the emotion that is being supposed to be conveyed in that scene. And it's very important that you are patient with everyone. In my classroom in the future, I plan on ensuring a safe space for all of my students by, at the beginning of the semester, immediately explaining to all of them that it is very important that we respect one another, we are patient with one another, and when we are partnering up, partnering up isn't just like something we do to split work, it is something that we use to collaborate and work and build and create a better understanding of everything together. And it's really important with those partners that we can build relationships beyond teacher and student, and you can make sure that you have those student-to-student relationships take part in your classroom. Although there are not plays that deal strictly with attachment disorder, there are two plays that I found that actually dealt with similar symptoms. The first one is Next to Normal. It is about a mom who suffers a loss of her child and then continues to suffer with bipolar disorder. And it is similar kind of to attachment disorder because she suffered that deep trauma and is having a hard time kind of connecting to her family again because of that. And that's kind of similar to that attachment disorder that you see that kind where the withdrawal symptoms where they don't make eye contact and kind of trying to step away because they're not comforted anymore and they're scared to be let down again. The other show I found was called Proof, and it's about this mathematician. Her name is Catherine, and her father dies, and she is so scared of being like her father. She kind of suffers a trauma, and she kind of is scared to act because of it, and she doesn't want to be seen or suffer from the same things her father did. And that's how you can kind of see a similar. It's a faint similarity, but it's something that can still raise awareness for attachment disorder and disorders similar to it. When I was doing research, I was fascinated because as I was reading about attachment disorder in kids and families who suffered, it was interesting to me that a lot of times these parents paint these images of these kids with attachment disorders, and although they might not seem withdrawn or they can be violent, they're painted in this light, and oftentimes they have no control over the attachment disorder because it was such a trauma that they suffered when they were young. So they don't have control over it, and yet they're getting all this blame placed onto them. So it's important as an educator to be patient in understanding and recognizing that this isn't something that they were born with, this is something that was forced upon them, and they don't like it any more than you do. And it's very important that you are understanding of not only kids with attachment disorders, but kids with anything, because it's important that you love your students and take care of them and make sure your classroom is a safe learning environment. Thank you.